Iyengar Yoga teacher, so it might not mean much to you, the levels, but level 3, it goes from level 1 to level 4, and level 4 being the highest. So it means that we've done decades of training, which takes a long time to train to be an Iyengar teacher, and then we have ongoing training. So she's very experienced. She's been practicing yoga since the 1970s, even though she doesn't look that old at all. She's the director of Lovegrove Essentials, which is a organic skincare product company, and also she's a highly regarded massage therapist, so she's got a lot of experience with bodies, and she trains people to massage as well. She teaches the monthly restorative class on a Friday afternoon. She will be teaching that from next Friday, and she's also going to be starting a 9 a.m. Is it 9 a.m. or 9:30, I think, level 2 class, so this kind of level class on Friday mornings from next week as well. So I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Hannah. Sorry, Hannah, I've just asked you to unmute. You're muted again now, sorry. If you just unmute yourself. And if you've got any questions, then by all means ask, and enjoy your class, and I'll come back at the end and see how you all got on. Okay.
Thanks, Rachel. And hello, everyone. It's going to change my screen view now. Okay. So we have got a couple of beginners and what else? Oh, lots of experience. So I'm going to do a class that will, I hope, suit all your levels, but also any aches and pains. I've made a note of those, so I hope you feel guided and supported in your class. It's going to be mostly standings and some slight forward bends. And we'll start with sitting on a lift. So give yourself some height. Sit in swastikasana, easy cross-leg pose, and bring your hands onto your knees. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, and then slide your hands up to the tops of your thighs and take your elbows back. And you'll feel a pleasant opening across the top front chest and a sense of separation, I hope, between the upper arms and this armpit chest here, the side chest. Spread the backs of the shoulders, spread the collarbones, lift the crown of the head up, and sit tall. Take an inhalation, exhalation, close your eyes and bring your palms together. I'm going to start the class with 3 ohms, which you can join in with if you feel you'd like to. So allow the breathing to settle, maintain that lift of the spine, the spread across the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, inhale once more. Inhale, lift the chest, exhale, bow the head down. Surrender the wisdom of the head to the wisdom of the heart. Release your hands, open your eyes, lift your head, and straighten out your legs. And let's start with coming up to standing. So clear your mat, come to standing and bring your feet together. So just so that you know, I've got the camera here in front of me, and then I've also got a big screen on this side where I can see what's going on in a bit more detail. So if I'm looking off to one side, it's because I'm having a jolly good look at what's going on. Ival, it says on your screen, there you are, hello. I can't see you at all. I can see a lovely picture of your kitchen, but nothing of you. You may want it like that, but if you want a bit of guidance, it's useful to be able to see you. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry?
Yeah, just saying thank you, and I'll change it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Bring your feet together. Lift and separate your toes. Press the four corners of your feet down. So big toe, little toe, in heel, out of heel. And try and bring your legs together. So there's a rotation there in the legs, isn't there? They don't just move inwards, otherwise you'd be collapsing on the inner edge of your feet. But somehow you've got to rotate the outer knees back, pull the thighs up, take the outer calves to the inner calves, and you should get a sense of lift then in the legs. Roll the shoulders back, extend your arms down, and remember that instruction for giving some space here to the side of chest, the armpit area. Bring your shoulder blades forwards. So our arms aren't clamped against the sides. You can take them away from the trunk for a moment to try and get that sense of the back armpit to the front armpit, and then stretch your arms down. And palms are facing your thighs at this stage. Palms facing the thighs. So turn your palms so your thumbs are forward, little fingers are facing behind you. And then turn your palms forwards and take your arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. So Urdhva meaning up, Hasta are your hands. Urdhva Hastasana. Upward facing hands. Your palms are facing each other. Inhale, lift the chest. You can even look up at your hands and see what you're doing. And then exhale, bring your hands down, palms facing the sides again. Let the breath release, and then let your body release. So you can feel that the pose, Tadasana, it builds in intensity, doesn't it? We're all standing normally now, but then when we take our attention and we apply it to those different places in the body, we build a pose that encompasses the whole body. Let's do that once more. So, extend the toes forward, stretch the heels back. Your feet are together, big toes touching, inner heels touching. And then squeeze the outer thighs to the inner thighs, outer calves to inner calves, lift the front thighs up, tighten the kneecaps. That's an instruction that a lot of people have trouble with at the beginning. So lift your kneecaps up, roll your tailbone forward, and feel how that helps you to lift the chest. Roll your shoulders back and extend your arms down. Turn your palms forward and bring your arms up. Feel that lift that comes down from the side ribs, outer upper arms up, upper arms, biceps by the ears. Inhale, exhale, bring the arms down once more. And this time, keep the legs, link the fingers in front of the body and turn the palms away. So we've created a strong link between the fingers. The arms are straight. Press into the four corners of the feet. Lift the kneecaps, tailbone forward, lift the chest, take the arms up again. So now this extension becomes even more intense and starts to lift the inner body up. If you know anything about fascia, you'll realize how the bound angle, the bound fingers are going to make a difference to that lift and make it more internal. And then bring the hands forward, change the link. Palms forward. So in terms of changing the link, you bring the other index finger to the top. Extend your arms away. And raise them up once more. kneecaps firm, thighs back, tailbone forward, chest lifting, shoulder blades down. All those different moving parts in the body have their part to play. And then bring your hands down, release the hands, and release Tadasana. So we're standing normally once more. And then one last one. So you've got the action of the feet, the knees, the thighs, the tailbone moving forward. This time, link your fingers behind your back and stretch your arms down and away towards knuckles towards the floor, away from your sacrum, your tailbone here. Can you keep the waist back rather than drop it forward? Can you keep the waist back? And then release, change the length. So work with the legs first, tailbone, roll the shoulders back, and then draw the knuckles towards the floor, straightening the arms, and see if you can move the thumbs slightly away from the tailbone. Good. And then release. Okay. Let's start with Trikonasana then. So we're going to start simple, and then we're going to build some useful detail into this. So those of you probably all know this pose, even if you're complete beginners. I'll just demonstrate though. You're going to jump or step your legs wide. Those of you with any issues, back, neck, shoulders, just step the feet. You're going to turn your feet to the right, so your left toes turn in slightly, your right foot turns out completely. And then you extend over to the right and down, top arm up. Then stay facing forwards. And then we'll come up, turn the feet to the front, and we'll go to the other side, all right? So, bring your feet together in the center of your mat. Jump or step your legs wide. Lift the chest, extend the arms, and turn your feet to the right. Left toes in slightly, right foot out. And then extend the right arm over to the right and down. Keep the legs straight. Left arm up. If you've got any issues with your neck or shoulders, bring the left thumb onto the back of the waist. So you just got your hand on the waist, and you can roll your left shoulder back and keep your right arm and legs straight. Just having a look there. Good. And then lift the left wrist up, press into both feet, and come up. Bring your hands onto your hips, turn your feet to the front. Then have a look at your feet and see that they're level. Same distance, both feet same distance from the end of the mat, the long end of the mat. Inhale, extend the arms, lift the chest, turn your feet to the left, so the right foot comes in, slightly, left foot turns out, extend over to the left and down. Top thumb on the back of the waist again, if you've got any problems with the shoulder or neck on that side. We're looking forwards, keeping the left kneecap lifted, right kneecap lifted, pressure downwards in both feet, rolling the right shoulder back, lift the right wrist to come up, turn your feet to the front, and then jump or step your legs together. And you're back in Tadasana once more. And then just recover. So I'm going to show you the next method. And this is a great way, if you're practicing Trikonasana, sometimes it's a fantastic pose to practice 3, 4, 5 times. And sometimes we need to get the energy going in the legs. They can be very dull, especially first thing in the morning. And this is one of my favorite ways of practicing Trikonasana, is to turn the feet to the right and then clasp my hands behind my back. So if I turn my back to the camera, you can see what I'm doing. Turn my feet to the right, clasp my hands like that. And then I go over to the right, and I keep going as far as I can. And my legs have got to really work to maintain the balance, and then I simply separate the hands. So you're either going to do that or that. And then come up. Turn your feet to the front, and we'll go to the other side. So, give that a go. Jump or step your feet wide. Extend your arms first, because this helps you to learn to work with a lifted chest rather than a sort of depressed trunk. Lift the chest, shoulder blades down, back ribs in, arms extending, and turn your feet to the right. Left toes in, right foot out. Good. Now, link your fingers behind your back, like we did in Tadasana. Press into the outer left foot and extend the trunk over to the right, as if you had your arms out. Slowly does it. And you'll notice you have to make some adjustments with the legs, don't you? So you might, Anne, you might take a slightly wider stride, for instance, move that back foot back a little bit, good. And see how much lower can you go? Because we always think with the arms, we need to be thinking with the legs in this pose. And then when you've gone as far as you can, and you feel stable, separate your hands, bring the right hand down and the left arm up. You may be surprised at how far down you've gone, because your legs are working. Good. Now lift the left wrist to come up. Now your arms are straight, your legs are straight. You can bring your hands onto your hips if your arms need a rest, but as long as you can, keep your arms up. And then turn your feet to the left. Link your fingers behind your back, roll your shoulders back. Extend over to the left, keep going, going, going. And when you've gone as far as you can, go a little more, roll the right shoulder back, and then separate the hands. Take a couple of breaths in and out. And press into the feet, lift the right wrist to come up. And turn your feet to the front. Jump your legs together. Got the afternoon sun coming in here, so it's a bit bright at the moment. It'll move. Come back to Tadasana, and I'm going to do one more detail that we can put into these standing poses. So, have a look at your feet. Take your feet slightly apart and have them parallel. So the inner edges of the feet parallel. Now, lift your toes up. And you'll be able to feel the ball of the big toe. Can you lift the whole of the outer edge up, as if you're rolling onto the inner edge of your feet? And then can you spread all your toes out and roll the outer edge of the foot back down again, and feel much more clearly all of the big toe, all of the little toe, inner heel, outer heel, those four corners. Takes a little while to get it right, so let it go again, relax your legs, and then try once more. Lift the toes, roll onto the inner edges of your feet, spread the whole sole of the foot, left to the left, right to the right, and put them down. And can you get as much pressure downwards now on the outer edge of the foot as you've got down on the inner edge of the foot? And you may notice some changes happening in your legs, particularly in your top thighs, as your body tries to make the necessary muscle adjustments to achieve that. And then let it go again, because it can be quite intense. And then just try once more. It's useful to do these things 3 times. It's like training horses. They always get it 3rd time. Lift your toes up, roll onto the inner edge of your foot, spread the whole of the foot out, left to the left, right to the right, and then press down with the outer edge, little toe, outer heel. The inner edge will look after itself. But the light area tends to be the outer edge, particularly the outer heel. So while you're pressing, see if you can notice which side you favour. One will be easier to get down, to feel some downward pressure on than the other. Remember which side that is, and then let go. Can you feel that effect on the top thighs, particularly the back thighs? That's where I feel it. It may be different for different people. If we were in a class, we could take a vote on it. But anyway, what you're going to do now is put that to the test. So step your feet wide. always means extended. Ut means strong, as in Utkatasana or Utthita Trikonasana, extended or strong. Hasta, your hands. Padasana, padas, your feet. So extended hands and feet. Utthita Hasta Padasana. Now, when you take your feet wide, have your feet parallel still. So Ritu, turn your feet back, both facing forwards. That's it. Now, what did we just do in Tadasana? Can you lift your toes and roll the outer edges of your feet down so that the outer heel presses? And can you see how that translates? Up your legs, into your hips, up into the pelvis. When the feet are working properly, the rest of the body is supported. And actually, the toes can just rest on the floor. It's the actual soles of the feet that are working. And as you hold that, trying to press the outer heels down, you'll feel some more effects on the inner thighs, inner to outer, on the pubic plate lifting up. And then heel and toe your feet back together again. Because again, that kind of work is intense. But it's really important to understand that significant element of how important the outer edge of the foot is in standing poses. So let's put that into practice. We're going to do Virabhadrasana 2. Let me just quickly show. So Virabhadrasana 2, the warrior pose. You're going to turn your feet to the right. Left toe slightly in, right foot out. Now the operative foot here is the outer left foot. It's the back foot. We need to press that down strongly. Then you're going to bend the right knee. And what wants to happen is everything wants to move to the right, but we have to remember to maintain that downward pressure on the back foot that we've just learned about. And then come up. Right, your turn. So, jump or step your feet wide. Turn your feet to the right. So here's your Utthita Hasta Padasana. Now you're turning your feet to the right. Can you maintain that downward pressure on the outer left heel? And with all of your awareness in the outer left heel, bend the front knee. You feel the awareness flicks between the two, doesn't it? So we've got to keep going back to press that down. And in the end, the awareness exists in both places at once, and you exist in the center. If that's not too subtle. But you can see what I mean, can't you? Press down with the outer left heel. Roll the right buttock under. Extend the right inner thigh away. And then inhale, exhale, come up. Hands on your hips. Keep the chest lifting. Turn your feet to the front. And let's go to the left. So here's Utthita Hasta Padasana. Both outer edges of feet down. When we then change the angle of the feet, we maintain that downward pressure in the right. Maintain, maintain, maintain as we bend the left leg. So the attention and awareness is everywhere. It's in the back foot, it's in the front knee. Lift in the pubic plate. Inhale, exhale, come up. Turn the feet to the front and then jump or step your legs together. And stand in Tadasana. Just relax there for a moment and let your breathing settle. We're going to do that once more. And for those of you who would want to, so some of you are going to repeat that. Those of you who don't have any hip problems particularly, we can go through the Virabhadrasana 2 into Parsvakonasana, Utthita Parsvakonasana. You can take a break for the right hand if you need to and come up. Okay? So last one. Jump or step your feet wide. Utthita Hasta Padasana, remember, so get that action with the outer heels now. It primes the whole of the body for the pose. Turn the feet to the right. Press the outer left foot down, outer left heel, bend the right knee, And then those of you who want to, you can take your forearm to the knee or your hand to a brick or the floor, left arm over the head. And then swing yourself up. It's very strong pose, very strong. And bring your feet to the front. If you need to rest your arms at this point, do. Take a few breaths in and out. And then extend the arms once more. Turn your feet to the left. Pressing down the outer right heel. Then the left knee. Inhale, exhale. Left hand down, right arm over. Breathing smoothly. Push into the feet, come up. Turn your feet to the front. And jump your legs together. And then take your feet as wide as the mat. And come into a forward bend, Uttanasana. Fold your arms and allow the trunk to hang down. Now, if that's not comfortable for you, then you can rest your forearms on a table or take your hands to the wall in half Uttanasana. Allow the breathing to settle. Change the length of your arms. Release your jaw, release your tongue, soften the whole of the inside of the mouth, inner ears, behind the eyes. And then bring your hands onto your hips. Look forwards and come up to standing. Bring your feet together. Okay. Bit of fun. We're going to do one more standing pose, but we're going to do it in such a way that you can hold it much more easily. It's a balance. So if we can support the trunk, support the body, on that one leg, it gives us a bit more time to explore the nature of the pose. Let me show. I've got a yoga chair here, so you can use a yoga chair or a dining chair. You want the feet, the front feet of the chair on your mat, with the seat of the chair facing you. Then you're going to take your feet wide, and you're going to turn your feet to the right. Just as we've done, Trikonasana to the right. And then bring this top thumb on the back of the waist. Now everybody's going to do that because it stops it from waving around and ruining your balance. You're going to bend your right knee and you put your hand on the seat at this point, slide it on the seat. So you've got your elbow down and your hands down. You can grip the seat, swing the top arm over to grip the backrest and raise the left leg up. So here is Ardha Chandrasana. And in this way, you've got a chance to press the right foot down and spread it out a heel, remember? And that rule still applies even when the left leg is lifted. And you can also start to lift the left hip up so that you get the left hip directly over the right instead of rolling forwards. Now, it also allows us to practice coming out of the pose, which is always tricky. You bend the front leg and step very far back. You want to try and find the spot where your foot originally took off from. Push into the chair and come up, Trikonasana. You can bring this hand down. And then back to Utthita Padasana, feet together, and we'll do the second side. So has everyone got a reasonable chair that they can use? Yeah? Okay, let's give it a go. So the front feet of the chair are on the mat. You need the full width of your mat for this pose. So just the front feet, or, move right over to the left-hand side. Step your feet wide, hands on your hips, because this takes some thinking. Turn your feet to the right, And then extend your arms. Extend over to the right and down. So standard Trikonasana. Bring the top left thumb on the back of your waist and roll the left shoulder back. Just glance out of the corner of your right eye at the seat. You're going to bend your right knee and put your hand on the seat. And as you hop the left foot in, take the elbow down onto the seat. And then the top hand onto the backrest and lift the left leg. Press the sole of the foot down. You've got both hands to hang on. Your right elbow should be down. Right elbow down, left elbow up. Now spread the sole of the right foot, press the outer heel down, spread the sole of the left foot. Imagine that was pressing into a wall. Turn the hips, so the left hip lifts up, turn the ribs. And then to come out of the pose, bend the right knee deeply and stretch the left foot back and walk it back till you're really wide and you're very low with your trunk at this point. Slide your right hand to the front of the seat and lift the left arm up. Straight arms, straight legs. Straight legs. That's it. You can even transfer the right hand onto the right leg and then come up. Turn your feet to the front. Jump your legs together. Well, I must say that was really successful. Thank you, team. Let's try the other side. So you can either move your chair over or just turn around. And we'll go to the left. So jump or step your legs wide. Extend your arms. Turn your feet to the left. Trikonasana to the left. Top thumb on the back of your waist. And roll the right shoulder back. And then bring your left hand onto the seat of the chair. Bend the left knee. And as you hop the right foot in, take the elbow down. Slide the forearm onto the seat of the chair. And take the top arm over onto the backrest. And then allow the body and the brain to settle. Press the left foot down. Extend the right leg. Lift the inner right thigh. And then start to raise the right hip up. Right hip over left hip. Very good for the hips, this pose. Rotate the trunk and the chest to face forwards. And then we're going to start to bend the left knee. Step the right foot back. Bring the hand onto the front of the seat. Raise the right arm up. So you're back in your Trikonasana shape. Come up. Turn your feet to the front. Jump your legs together. And stand in Tadasana. Just breathe. A little slower, a little deeper for a few moments. And then you're going to bring your chair onto the front of your mat so the backrest is facing the screen. And sit down so that your left-hand side is facing the screen. So you're sitting sideways on the chair. If you've got a chair with arms, just sit in the middle of it. And you can use the armrest to turn, that's fine. And then you're going to turn to the left. And use the arms of the chair or the structure of the chair to draw the trunk round with the right hand and push the trunk back with the left hand. So it's not a deep twist, it's very loose and easy, just to allow the body to settle down and the spinal muscles to relax. And then turn back to the front. And then you can swivel around on your chair. Or if you're sitting straight on, simply turning to the other side. Now you're turning to the right, pulling with the left hand, pushing with the right. Whatever you can catch. Right ribs back, left ribs forwards. Chest lifting, shoulders broad. And then repeat that once more. So look down at your knees, bring them together so they're level, and maintain level knees. Keep an eye on your knees as you turn to the left. So you'll notice that the left thigh wants to shrink back, so you've got to extend it forwards to keep it level with the right knee, even as you turn. Lift the chest, spread across the shoulders, lift both sides of the trunk. 2 or 3 inhalations and exhalations, soft, slow, smooth. And then repeat once more on the other side. So now now the right thigh wants to shrink back as you turn to the right. So extend the right thigh forward, keep the knees level, keep an eye on your knees as you turn. And then you're gently drawing the trunk round with the left hand, pushing the trunk back with the right. And then release and sit straight for a moment. Okay, so we're going to do some sitting poses now. And we're going to use the chair. Have a look, and then you can get everything ready. You need something to sit on that allows you, that's high enough for you to do poses like so, with a bent leg or swastikasana. So you may need a couple of blocks or a couple of blankets or a bolster, whatever height you normally sit on. And then in terms of the distance of the chair, that will depend on your hamstrings and on your back. So what we don't want to do is strain the back at this stage. We've just done some lovely standing poses, and we're going to put all that extension to good use now. And what you're going to do is use the backrest of the chair to extend upwards. Now I know we often think with forward bend, we've got to get the head to the knee or shin, whatever. That's not what we're doing here. We're doing much more of the preparatory stage for that, which is learning to extend the trunk. Press the legs down, extend the trunk. And we have to press the legs down in whatever position we place them. So, for instance, if we are doing Paschimottanasana, so you start in Dandasana, press the legs down, and as you come forward, we're trying to keep shoulder blades down, the back ribs in. See, I'm coming forwards, but I'm not going down. I'm going up the back of the chair. The danger is that as we come forwards, we drop. And so the back doesn't take a healthy shape. We need a concave spine, not a convex spine. You see the difference? And we can use the back of the chair, going up the back of the chair, to learn that action and develop it. So let's start with a Buddhista Konasana. So we're going to take the legs wide. So take the legs as wide as you can and press the thighs down. Sit tall. Bring your hands down beside the hips to support the trunk. We're pushing the heels away. Your feet are vertical. Don't let them drop out to the side. Feet stay vertical. And then raise the arms up and come forwards, keeping that lift to the back of your chair. So your hands are on the back of the chair. Now, press your legs down a little more and bring your sacrum forward so you can feel that your chest lifts up. press the inner and outer thighs down. And then see, can you walk your hands up the backrest at all? Can you go a little further, pressing the legs down? It's almost like a dog pose stretch, isn't it? And you'll get different effects depending on how far you have your chair away from you. Press the inner knees down. Move the sacrum into the body. And then gently release, slide back. And bend up your knees. Bring your legs under the chair. And now, let's do a Janu Shishasana. So you're going to bend your right leg, take it out to the side. Left leg is extending under the chair. And then bring your hands beside the hips once more. So you've added it's rather like turning the leg out in Trikonasana. You've added a tendency there for the whole body to swing off to the right. But we need to roll the right thigh down and out at the same time as we're rolling the left hip forwards, and then raise the arms up and come forward. So there's more of a challenge now to the right hand side of the back body, right hip. If you feel that your knee is unsupported, you can put a folded blanket or a cushion, lock under the knee. So it's soft, slow, smooth inhalation, exhalation. Release around the right hip, the right lower back. Roll that left waist back and the right waist forwards. And after a few moments, the body starts to respond. And then on an exhalation, inhale as you exhale, can you creep your hands a little further up the backrest of the chair? And you may even be able to rest your head on the seat. And then without disturbing the nice smooth rhythm of breath, come back up. Extend your right leg. Bring the legs together. Once more, you're in Dandasana again now. You're going to bend the left leg out. Bring the heel towards its own groin. So if you've got knee problems, you can keep that foot away. But bring it in as close as you feel comfortable. Roll the outer left thigh down, raise the arms up, come forwards. So first we have to see for ourselves what effect that's had on the left side of the trunk, on the left side of the lower back, the left hip, left thigh. Roll the left hip forwards, lift the left side of the trunk. Move the back ribs in, and then see, can you creep your hands up a little higher and rest your head down. You can practice this with a lift on the chair, the head if you can't quite reach. Bolster or folded blankets there. And then slowly come back up. Extend your legs. And then come back into Swastikasana, as we did at the beginning. Now just have a look at your feet. Because we're on the narrow edge of the mat, rather than facing the long edge. And if you have a look, can you get your right foot over to the left-hand side of the mat, and your left foot over to the right-hand side of the mat. You wiggle them further away. Always a good thing to try and do as you get used to this pose. And then you take your hands and you can roll the thigh muscles out and down to give the legs a bit more understanding of the shape. And if your knees are still very high, i.e. higher than hip level, then sit higher. The higher you sit, the more your knees will release down. Good, yes. If you feel that, you get a better lift in the spine, don't you? You're not collapsing down, it's good. So never worry about taking all the height that you need, because it's that will protect your hips and your spine. You must remember always to work to your own level. And then we'll do this once more. Raise the arms up, come forwards. And then take a moment to see what effect that change of posture has had on the pose. And you should feel a really nice spread across the sacrum. And you can creep the hands up the back rest a little more, rest the forehead down. And simply allow the thighs and the hips to release. So the arms in this case, as opposed to the standing poses where the legs are doing supporting, in this case the arms are doing supporting. And change the cross. So the cross you've just done will be your familiar cross. This one will feel unfamiliar. Don't worry about that. But see if you can move your feet away from each other onto the opposite side of the mat. And if you feel restricted, try rolling the front calf forwards. It helps the back leg to come down a bit. Back leg will be the one that is normally in front. Roll the thighs if you need to, and then bring the hands down the sides of the chest. Back ribs in, breastbone lifting. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, extend forwards. Pause there and allow the legs to release. Because you don't want to go hastily in this sort of work. You don't want to go beyond your capacity. So if you've got a problem with the hip, you'll know it by now, and you'll know how slowly and carefully you need to work. And then you can creep the hands up the back of the chair again, if you've got some more capacity for that, and release your head onto the seat of the chair. Or onto your lift if you've got them. Or simply let the back of your neck relax. And then gradually come back up to sitting, undo the legs, extend them forwards, and sit once more in Dandasana. Okay. So, let's put the chair away now. And we're going to finish off with Sechabandha. We'll just start with a quick Shatush Padasana, which I think is a good primer for Sechabandha. So if you get yourself either a brick or 4 blocks, failing that, you can choose a couple of folded blankets, anything that you can put under your hips to give them a lift. I'm going to use a brick. We'll start with Shatush Padasana. So you're catch hold of the edge of the mat, press your upper arms, your elbows down, and tuck your shoulder blades under. And then you're going to push into your feet and lift your hips up. And we'll hold that for a few moments and then come down again. Okay? And we'll do that 3 times. So if you're ready, feet parallel, grip the edges of your mat, press your elbows down and tuck your shoulder blades under. Lift and open the chest, and then pushing into your feet, lift your hips up. So it's the buttock crease we want to move in and lift up. Outer thighs parallel. Stretch your front thighs towards your knees. And then come down. And repeat that twice more. Lifting up. Outer heels, remember that. Press them down. Really helps to lift the hips. And then come down. Now this time, get your grip or your blocks ready beside your hand. And lift up tall. And you may have to come up onto your toes, but put your grip or your blocks under the sacrum. And if you're not familiar with that, slide a couple of cushions under your sacrum. Lift the sides of the chest. And bring your sacrum down to the roots. That looks good. Now when you come out of the pose, if you've got blocks, you're going to take 2 of them away and come down onto either 1 or 2, whatever you've got remaining. If you've got a brick, turn it onto its flat side and come down onto that. So that you come down part way and release the spine. And then you can feel the spine release, and when it's finished releasing, then you can lift up slightly and take the rest of the props away. Roll your tailbone towards your heels and come down with a long lumbar. And then extend your legs away from you. Feet together. And then let your feet fall apart so they roll away from each other on your heels. Turn the backs of your hands to the mat. Make sure you haven't got any equipment touching your hands or your arms. Move that out of the way. And lie in Shavasana for a couple of moments. Allow your eyes to close and your breathing to settle down. Take the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Let it settle into the lower palate. Let the weight of the whole body sink into the floor. The heels, calves spreading, the thighs, hips. Shoulder blades, arms and the backs of the hands. take a slightly deeper breath in and a long, slow, smooth breath out. One at a time, bend at your knees. Bring your hands onto your trunk. Roll over onto your right hand side and rest there for a moment or two until you feel ready to come up to sitting. And then sit in Swastikasana for a few moments. Bring your palms together. Thank you very much, everyone.
So thank you everyone for coming. Hang on, let me just find out where I am. Here I am. I hope you enjoyed Hannah's class. She's really is a wonderful teacher, and I did go out. I wasn't spying the whole time. I just came back. So if you want any more information, Hannah, as I said, is teaching from Friday next week in the morning at 9:30, and then once a month she's doing a restorative class on Friday afternoon, which I think there's one next week, isn't there, Hannah? So that's it. So if you want any more information about that, it's on the website. And in the meantime, enjoy the rest of the day, enjoy your weekend, and look forward to seeing you again someday, perhaps. But let us know any questions. If you've got anything to ask now, feel free to open your mic and say hello. Otherwise, you can always email later on.
Thank you very much for today. I've really enjoyed it. I've been to 3 classes.
Well
I've got
done.
I've got to go on the school run now, but I will email you because I have a couple of questions about signing up and so on.
Okay,
and
fine.
Choice of sessions. But thank you very much,
You're
all
welcome,
of you.
Sally. You're
It's been
welcome.
really great. Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you
Bye,
next week.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Just
Bye,
thank
Sam.
you very much from me as well. It's been really great. So thank you for organising.
You're
And
welcome.
I'll be back.
Great.
Great. Love to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye
you.
now. Bye-bye.
Bye.